CNN just screwed themselves with what was showing during live broadcast they didn't know was there. When is your race not really your race? When a liberal doesn't think you deserve to own the race you were born with because you're not getting offended by the same things they are. The politics of today being what they are, every group is scrambling to gain supporters, no matter how they have to do it. The days of leaning on morals and logic are long gone, and here are the times when shaming people, or better yet, scaring them into supporting you by saying that you'll take their very identity away if they don't, are here to stay. Race has become about political affiliation, and political affiliation is all about money. This has been demonstrated in a big way over the past year and a half as the racial tension heightened with the incoming of President Trump into office. The African American community rejoiced greatly when Obama was elected because he was the first African American president, and we couldn't fault them for it. We could fault Obama for a lot of things, but not his race because after all, he didn't choose it. Since the exit of the Obamas from the White House it seems like the Black Lives Matter and other racist groups have found themselves in a foul mood, and they're bringing everyone else down with them. The media has caught on to the political gain that's to be had if they buy into this racial, political connection, and they're pushing it hard. They're even allowing people to accuse others of not belonging to the race they were clearly born into. Via Conservative Tribune. If you ever wanted to see the media's double standard in action, Monday on CNN was the day to do it. First, Virginia Republican Ken Cassini told an African-American Democrat strategist to shut up during a discussion on CNN because the strategist, Simone Sanders, kept talking over Cassini while he was trying to make a point. Cassini was asked to apologize by the host and the incident made national news. Later that day, on the selfsame network, African-American Democrat strategist Keith Boykin insinuated to Paris Denard, a black Republican commentator, that Denard was insufficiently black for defending President Trump over Trump's response to Saturday's violence in Charlottesville, Virginia. Boykin even told Denard explicitly to shut up. No apology was asked for, and no news was made. What we've got here is a classic example of a double standard. Obviously telling people to shut up isn't nice, and asking for an apology isn't out of line. What is out of line is selective prosecution of those who engage in said offensive activity. In other words, you only ask for an apology when you don't agree with the person who's telling someone to shut up. It's also a fun little humiliation tactic which should be tolerated. CNN has proved themselves over and over to be overtly biased and racist, and now they're putting it out there for everyone to see. It's hard to say if they realize it or not, but we do, and we should hold them accountable. Them showing this blatant racism is totally unacceptable and should be met with resistance. CT, the incident began after Boykin told Denard, "I'm ashamed that you, as an African American, Paris, will not say that President Trump hadn't gone far enough." "Keith, I don't need you to try and pull my black card," a visibly annoyed Denard responded. "I am well aware of my blackness and don't need you to try and classify me as being one." "Are you?" Boykin responded. The insult, that a Republican could not be sufficiently black, quite rightfully sent Denard off. "Keith, don't go there," he responded. "Do not go there. I know what it means to be a black person in this country. I have experienced racism on a regular basis, by being a Trump supporter, and by being a proud American who happens to be a Republican. I get racist comments about my family, about my mother, about my girlfriend, about my character, every single day, and mostly coming from black people." Things got even worse when Boykin told Denard he ought to calm down. "I won't calm down," Denard responded. "I will not be attacked by you about my blackness because I happen to be a Republican." And note, host Brooke Baldwin doesn't even attempt to intervene, a far cry from CNN hosts Chris Cuomo asking Cassini for an apology. What Boykin essentially insinuated is that Denard ought to stay in his place, the Democrat Party. Can you imagine if it were a conservative who insinuated that? You don't even have to imagine. We saw what happened earlier in the day with Kusini, in which the alleged racism was teased and extrapolated out of the fact that he simply wanted to stop being interrupted during one of CNN's patented non-stop bellowing fests. Yet, when Boykin insinuated that Denard was an Uncle Tom, and make no mistake, that implied insult was there in all but those words, what did CNN do? When he told Denard to shut up, what action did CNN or its host take? Nothing. Zilch. Zero. It's our opinion that this liberal hack was telling Paris Denard that he needed to know his place as a black man and get back in it. And it's our opinion that that is as despicable now as it was when blacks were mistreated by the bigots and slave owners of yesteryear. The media will never admit that, of course. But, ladies and gentlemen, here we give you the media's double standard, all neatly distilled down into one 3-minute clip. It should have every liberal on the planet up in arms that someone would accuse someone else of not being the ethnicity that they were born with. Heck, they'll even get irate if you tell someone that they're not the ethnicity that they decided to adopt later in life. This is a double standard on so many levels. CNN, you might want to check the mirror, because by all accounts your true colors might be showing, and people might start to get fed up with it. Share if you're tired of seeing racism accepted by CNN and the left. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe Breaking News 365 channel. Goodbye and see you again.